Hey guys, hope all is well. In this video today, I'm going to go through how we set up Google Ads and Meta Ads for an e-commerce business. They also have a service-based arm to the business. So I'm going to show you behind the scenes of how we set up the whole infrastructure and the architecture for their account, and then also how we plan on scaling this brand going forward. So as I mentioned, there's a lead generation side of this business. There's also an e-commerce side of this business too. So what we want to do is we want to run on Meta and we want to run on Google. So firstly, focusing on Google and focusing on the lead generation. This client specializes in skincare, and they've got multiple different salons in multiple different areas. So we want to run ads to bring in basically appointments for both of the arms of their company, which is beauty treatments and skin treatments. So the main goal here is we want to do some keyword research. We want to look at the highest volume keywords. We want to look at what costs the keywords are to get the clicks, and also look at the competitor landscape, see who is competing for these keywords, look at their landing pages, see what opportunities there is, see what the benchmarks are essentially. So what we've done is here we've just picked multiple different keywords for each. We'll start collecting the data, we'll see what conversions we get. We've got mobile, we've got email, we've got booking appointments, and then from there we'll start refining our strategy. We'll pick out what works and we'll start pausing and eliminating what doesn't work essentially. So as you can see here too, we've got specific landing page built out for each. It's really, really important, especially for service-based ads. People are going through, they want to see what the treatments are. They have many different objections that need to be handled. So the pages need to be structured in an effective way to capture those leads. So as you can see here, we've got a page for beauty clinic services. We also have one for skin treatments. And then further down the funnel, if they book an appointment, that's great. But if they don't, we have to retarget them. It's crucial to retarget them. Many people will have a consideration phase for, it could be a couple of weeks before they book an appointment. They may need to be hit from many different touch points. So for them to make that decision, they may find you on Google, but you may convert them through Meta. So what we've got here is, if you can see no, it goes all the way over here, and then we've got a retargeting campaign set up on Meta to then retarget them effectively through this platform. So that's the lead generation side of things. Again, in summary, we've got one campaign, treatments, search campaign. We've got an ad group for beauty treatments. We've got a skin ad group for the skin treatments with the highest highest volume keywords to collect data from. And then we've got the dedicated landing page for each. If they convert, great. If they don't convert, we've got to retarget them tailored to that specific treatment. So we want to have cohesion across our strategy here and really target in and target them in an effective way. So this client is actually pretty established in the e-commerce side of things. They've never just really pushed the ads. It's good because there's a lot of good opportunity. So firstly, how did we set up the ads, and what's the most logical thing to do when you've got a small budget? So in this case, what we do is we look at the Shopify data. We look at what products are working, what's the strongest products, what's the 20% of products that are bringing 80% of the results. Most of the time, with a small budget, you want to focus in, you want to narrow in a few products. You don't want to throw the whole net out wide. You want to just narrow in, see what works, and then go from there. So it's all about just learning, getting that data, and giving yourself the best chance. So on Google, we'll look at the Google Ads libraries, we'll go look at the Meta Ads libraries, and we'll research all of the competitors in detail. We'll really find out what's working, why they're choosing those products, and what products we should choose first. So as you can see here, we went into the Shopify data, and we chose data from August to the 25th. We chose the best top 5 products. We actually kept them all in the exact same collection, and they're all the same brand. So again, coming down here, we've got the product page or the category page, and then if they convert, great. If not, we're bringing them into a meta campaign. So we've got retargeting going at the same time, that's then specific to those 5 products, and then we've got a broad audience for new prospects, but again, focused on those top 5 products. The results have been brilliant. We also ran catalog ads, and we had static carousel winner. And then as you can see here, they're going straight into either the product page or they're going to the collection page. So the A/B test that we ran here was, we had a carousel and a catalog. We could clearly see that the carousel worked much better. In this case, I will bring you on to why the next A/B test worked too. So again, with skincare and with these types of products, people probably, our hypothesis was, do they want to see people using the product on them and actually visualizing how it's used, or is the product by itself going to work? So as we learn from our A/B test here, and again, we've got a small budget, but at the same time, you can run really targeted A/B tests and just start learning and gathering data. So as you can see here, our next A/B test that worked was the products being used. So we had 2 carousels going at the same time. So I know we said we had the catalog ad, which we brushed that to the side. Now we're focused on the carousel. Then our next A/B test was, do we want people using the product, or do we want to keep the carousel looking still really nice graphically, but also it's just the product? We found that people using the product was working better, so that's their next winner there. So we'll just start creating other angles around this, and then pushing on to scaling further. We can start, okay, that's a winner, and you'll see now the results now in a minute that it's a winner. We can then get video content of people actually using the product. So we know that the statics work with people using the product, but now we can start expanding and creating video content of people using the product with different angles. So as you can see here, we spent €656. This just in the first couple of weeks with 85 purchases, high AOV, and 11,332 return with a 17 return on investment, ad spend, and a CPA of 772. So really, really strong results here. And so I think it's really positive going forward. So on the creative side of things, I want to hone in on a strategy that we use at Optima Digital. It's really, really important. It's one that we do and heavily rely on, and it's from a strategic point of view. So when we're doing a competitor research and we're looking at the whole landscape, we use Foreplay. It's really, really good app. Basically what you can do here is you can find out winning creatives from clients, from competitors. You can see which ads have been running the longest, which ones are inactive, which ones are status of live, and just really hone in on the different angles that are actually working for those competitors. So if you see an ad that's being run for 6-7 months, I think it's pretty fair to say that is actually a winning ad. So it's definitely a software that I would recommend. It's one that we heavily rely on. We've got massive amounts of swipe files for all different industries that we can relate back to and see what works and see what objections we need to handle, or angles that work and don't work and have been trialed and tested and collected all that data and refined it. So again, I would highly recommend using something like Foreplay to tailor your strategy. And then also, just to finish up here, we have a Google Ads checklist here at Optima Digital. It's a checklist, runs across all of the different campaigns from shopping, PMax, video, etc. And what it basically does, let's take shopping for example, is we've got a checklist that you can check. You run through the checklist once, so that maybe setting up the feed and optimizing all of that side of things. And then we've got the checklist that is bi-weekly. We've got one for monthly, and then we've got one for weekly, 72 hours, and what you may need to do daily, such as reviewing the search terms and so on. So again, it's a checklist that I'd highly recommend you opting in for if you need it, and I'll just leave a link in the bio. And look, if you can't find it there, just feel free to leave me a comment and I can pass it on to you. But yeah, this is just a bit of an overview of a setup for a client they've got a B2B a B2B arm. Then they've got the B2C, which is the e-commerce side of things. And yeah, just to keep it simple, we honed in on what the treatments are, the highest converting keywords with specific landing pages, and then from there we just refine and see what works. And if they don't convert, we try retarget them. And then on the shopping side of things, we use the top 5 products. We have a specific landing page. We've done our research on the competitors. We know what's worked. We know that the competitors heavily spend on these terms and these products. So it just makes sense to try that. And if they don't convert, well, then we can retarget them. But as we can see here, it's working. And we just need to keep pushing now. So again, we're just going to keep expanding on Google now. And yeah, that's basically it. So if you're running ads on a small budget, especially on Google and Meta, do your research, look at what 20% products bring 80% of the results. Start small, look at your competitors, do your due diligence, keep it simple, start on a shopping campaign, and then go from there.